Network, where we interview every job occupation A through Z, from the trash man to the CEO, and ask them how and why they started doing what they're doing so that you can find your dream job too. I'm your host, Kojo Thompson, and today we're with Miss Karlisha Hurley, who is a U.S. award-winning LA-based Australian actress. She played the lead role in the feature film Wrapped, was in the Lifetime film Nightmare Tenant, has a starring role in the series How to Identify a Serial Killer, and co-host of the series Me4TV, a next-generational talk show. She's also won the Best Actor Award under 18 at the Los Angeles Independent Film Festival and Hollywood Moving Picture Film Festival, as well as Best Actress in a Leading Role. She often plays teens who have been bullied or been contemplating suicide, and is an overall outstanding and amazing person. So let's dive right into it.
What am I willing to do to go get it? I push things aside just to go get it. I know my role and I play my position. You talking too much. Please learn how to listen. I never give up. I'm not quitting. I'm persistent. I'm willing to go.
Now, let's go ahead and dive right into these questions. Now, Karlisha, why and how did you become an actress?
It's actually a really weird and crazy story. When I watched my first film, my mum took me to the theater for the first time, and I actually saw the film Titanic, of all things, and I became not obsessed with like the love story, but obsessed with Kate Winslet, and you know how that character was able to become her own person and was able to, through all her, no matter what everyone was saying about her, she was able to decide and choose her own path, and be her own person, and I loved that. And it's like, Mum, how can I become like that? And so she automatically thought, oh, well, she's an actor, let's put her in an acting class. And that's how that all kind of started.
Very interesting, very interesting. So, I mean, and you were about how old? How long did it take for you to figure out that, you know, this was actually something that I wanted to do?
I started at a pretty young age. I was about 7 or 8 years old. Okay. Yeah. I was lucky enough to be able to know at that age what I actually wanted to do.
Yeah, a lot of people don't figure it out until like their 20s.
No, I was very grateful for that.
Yep, exactly. Yep. All right. So, now you said this movie experience was pretty much the first time that, or seeing that Titanic was pretty much the first time that, the idea of acting even came to, you know, you have any other childhood hobbies or habits that you think contributed to, what you're doing today?
Movies. I watched a lot of films as a kid. I was like obsessed. Anything when it came to I got into reading because it was the same. It was a film first, so I watched the film and then I read the book, and then I became obsessed with reading books about films, and that kind of stuff.
Okay. That's very interesting. Okay, so let me go ahead and ask you this, because I bet you a lot of our listeners, especially youth listeners, want to know this question. What's an average day like for you?
It varies. It really depends if I have an audition compared to when I don't. When I do have an audition, I spend the entire day, you know, character developing, getting into the role, depending on who it is. You know, is it a series? Is it a movie? So I spend literally the entire day on that. But when I don't have an audition, I usually develop skills that are outside of acting, so I don't go crazy, because a lot of actors have, you know, those inside thoughts of being, oh, why aren't I, like, if it's a slow week, why aren't I getting auditions? Am I a bad actor? And so it's a really toxic mental state. Wow. So yeah, definitely. So I try to keep myself busy as much as I can by developing new skills. Like I'm learning French. I'm doing psychology classes, trampolining even. So
you know, as an outside looker looking in, because you know I'm not in any shape, way, shape, or form, you know, in that type of world. What is it like doing an audition for Hollywood, whatever, like anything?
It is Oh, you really do have to love it because it's like a dog eat dog world. Like, you're literally sitting in a room with all these other people that look exactly like you, and you're trying to, impress these people. So it's you have to love it. Like, I do it because when I get into the room and do the scene, I'm completely that character, and I love doing that. That's so, like, it's fun, but definitely
it's rewarding.
It's rewarding, yes,
100%. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, what part of it makes it rewarding? Is it like the part of, just like what, like, dive into that a little bit more for me, because I really want to understand like why you're so rewarded with the feeling of giving back to that character, or like showing the character is, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's when I'm in a scene, it's the feeling you get of being completely a different person. Like, you every aspect of yourself is yourself, but it isn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Oh yeah, but not only that, it's like the roles that you get to play and the film itself that you get to be a part of. You become a community with those people, and it becomes like a family every time you create a new project, which is an incredible thing. Like,
Yeah,
to be a
fulfillment. Yeah, I know the joy.
It is amazing.
Yeah, being a part of a community is a big key to happiness.
100%.
Feeling loved and feeling, a part of something. That's a big key to happiness right there. So let me go ahead and ask you this. What do you enjoy the least about being an actor?
Ooh. Having to impress people without really knowing who you are as a person, especially as a young actor. It's so hard. You're trying to figure out who you are while also trying to figure out what, casting directors or these people want from you, not only as a character, but as a person. Like, you have to be likable, but you can't be too likable. What if you need to play a bitchy role? Do they want you to be a bitchy person in real life? It's so hard to figure out what they want because everyone's different. And so it's like, I spend a lot of my time, pretending and like becoming someone and trying to please everyone without actually being myself. And that affected a lot of my acting jobs. And when I stopped doing that, it definitely changed my whole perspective on acting.
Wow. Okay, so is it like more of a, like, you have to lie to yourself in your head kind of, or like, do you, before you go to sleep at night, like you actually think and you know who you are type of deal? Like, what's going on with that? I mean, because I know a big part of life is loving and understanding yourself first, and like understanding your thoughts. So you really have to be in touch with yourself. You really have to love yourself first before you dive into this, is what it sounded like.
100. I really believe that. Yeah. Loving yourself and loving who you are, no matter like what job you're doing, I think is another key to life.
Yes.
To happiness. And that's kind of what I was trying to figure out at a young age.
Perfect. Yeah. And it's harder when you're younger because you don't, you're not on, you haven't been on Earth that long, so you don't really know that much about yourself. A lot of stuff about yourself was going on subconsciously while you weren't even like really paying attention until you look back at it and you're like, oh, that's why I act like this,
And especially being in LA, it's a very skewed idea of what the world is like.
Yep.
And everyone's trying to, get something from someone else. So it's hard to figure out, who you are, who you want to surround yourself with. So I think it actually becomes a little harder being in this industry.
I can definitely imagine.
Yeah, but once you do break those barriers and be like, I actually don't care what people think. Like, it's only what I think that really matters.
Exactly.
So much easier.
Yep. Yeah. Mental health is definitely a big part of that.
Definitely.
Let me go ahead and ask you this. What do you enjoy the most about being an actor?
The community. The community that you create with you're literally a family. It's like every time you get to have a family with another group of people, as well as the so many different characters you get to play, it forces you to think more about yourself and your ideas, and then depending on the character, your ideas actually change and you keep developing as a person, not only within acting and the characters you're playing, but you're within yourself.
Perfect. Okay, so what is actually, no, let me ask you this. Do you think that grades mattered in school for the success in your acting career?
No. 100% no. I definitely don't believe it made any difference. No. High school was a very difficult place for me, only because I think, honestly, high school is so hard for anyone who's the least bit different and who has different ideas and different creative thoughts. So I don't think that.
I strongly believe that school is very it's meant to push out a certain type of person, but most people are not that certain type of person. I mean, even just the classroom setting in general, because I actually went to a job orientation tomorrow, and it was in that same classroom setting, and the setting is just straight up boring. It's not even like just one person standing up front in front of a class and just talking like for 2 hours straight. Like, that's boring. I can't do that.
Yes.
It's just,
that is crazy to me that you stick people like that are going through the same, mental crazy health issues that you're going through, and you stick them all in a room and force them to be the best that they can, know who they are, know what they want at such a young age. I think it's insane.
For sure. And I feel like teachers not really asking you, hey, what do you actually want to do outside of sitting in a room all day? They're just there to teach you, what they came to teach. Not really, and we could talk about that for another hour, but let's please move on to this next question. And I think I'm going to wrap it up here actually, because, this has been a great interview, but what's one piece of advice that you think, you could give somebody? I know there are a million people listening out there right now who are just like, who want to be an actor and are just like, well, I don't even know, the first step, or maybe they have a internal question like, oh, what, that mental health thing you were talking about. What's one piece of advice that you really think somebody who's looking to be like you can really hang on to?
Something that I have had with me for quite a long time is, it was actually something Will Smith said in an inspirational video, which is something I listen to those all the time. They're my new obsession. It would be that the best things in life are on the other side of fear. So no matter what you're doing, like that insane feeling, once you get on the other side of it, it's like, it's complete bliss. It's beautiful. It's just having that courage and that ability to like step forward is what's the hardest part. But knowing for me that the best things in life are on the other side of fear is what drives me to do crazy things, like to have that first step. If you need an agent, go up to an agent. Like if you want to become an actor, go up to an agent and be like, hi, I want to become an actor. Can you help me? Literally doing stuff like that. Go into a class for your first time, meet a stranger, do things that you wouldn't normally do, because I promise it will change your life. Perfect.
Yeah. That sounds great. That's not just acting, guys. That's literally anything you want to be or anything you want to do in general. So now what's next for you? Because I mean, you're still pretty young, and I know you have dreams and ambitions down the road 5-10 years from now. Like what's next?
At the moment, I'm actually shooting Atlanta. I'm going to Atlanta and shooting a PureFlix series over there.
Wow.
For a couple of weeks. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I've actually got a Hulu series coming up, which is going to be pretty amazing. So I'm very excited about
Perfect.
that.
Yo, that sounds so cool, man. I definitely got to check that out when that drops. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. And I've also got a Crypt, it's called Crypt TV, which is coming out May 24th, which is something I'm really excited about.
Perfect.
So definitely, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. No, seriously. I'm definitely going to check that out, and I'm definitely going to leave a link. So you said your website is www.karlisha.com?
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. So if anybody, wants to check you out yourself, Karlisha.com. That's so cool, man. I need a Kojo.com, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Just do the one name.
Yeah, hey, that sounds so cool, man. And now, guys, I personally like to thank Karlisha. Karlisha has been an excellent interview today. She's been very cooperative with us all day, and she honestly one of the best, coolest people out there, and giving great advice. Not only that, but she's giving great advice not to only actors who people aspiring to be actors, but people who are aspiring to be anything. What you say, the bliss is on the other sid of fear. Say that quote for me, because I know I'm not going to say it right. I know they want to hear that quote again. Please.
It is. Oh God, I have to remember it. The best things in life are on the other
side of fear. And we're going to leave it right there, guys. Wait. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube, iTunes podcast, SoundCloud, and Google Play channels at YI Network. And make sure to follow us on all social media platforms at YI Network. That's Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all that. And if you or somebody loves their job and would like to inspire others too, make sure to email me at whyimpassionate@gmail.com. Again, whyimpassionate@gmail.com. Talk to you guys soon.